Hey, Barry Manning here. Welcome to a practice edition of the Garden Report. Final practice before the Celtics head up to Montreal. It was a light one today. Celtics have slowly ramped up. Training camp has gone along. Joe Mazzulla said here today they're hoping to have the full team up there in Montreal, including Luke Cornett, who continues to look better by the day. Did some balance work on that left foot, as well as some full team action again today. Looks like he's been integrated pretty well into things, and he plans and hopes to play on Friday, Mazzulla said. So they'll continue to monitor him. They'll travel up there tomorrow, Friday. I believe it's a 7:30-ish game. And then the Celtics are into the regular season less than a week from today here on Wednesday. The guard dynamic, a big discussion today. We talked to Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, as well as Mazzulla, who I asked about Marcus Smart's role. Seems like what we've seen from preseason so far is a variety of ball handlers, facilitating by committee. Whereas last year, the theme around this time was Marcus Smart becoming this team's point guard per se, with Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum ball handling, a real emphasis, their usage, their ball time going up. This is what Mazzulla had to say to me about Marcus Smart's role going into this year. That point guard role last year, he talked a lot about how important that is to him. Seems like you guys want to have a bunch of different playmakers on this team, but just how have you seen him grow in that role? How much are you going to trust him to be kind of the ball handler on this team?
I trust Marcus completely on both ends of the floor, and I think he's an important piece for us in every aspect of offense. And so he's done a great job just knowing how he can impact the game with and without the ball. And we've asked all of our guys to be able to do that. But, I trust him completely.
You kind of had conversations about his role coming into the year?
He told me what it was going to be.
What was that?
He told me what it was going to be.
What was that?
Me and Smart have had great conversations. Like I said, we were both point guards. We've both been around each other for a long time, and so our conversations are about how can we just affect the game on both ends of the floor and just make the right play, and he's done a great job focusing on that, and like I said, I fully trust him to make the right play.
So I love that quote at the end. It seemed like a little bit in jest. He's telling me his role. That's sort of been Mazzulla's persona throughout camp, is leaning on the players, letting them dictate a lot of the leadership here, as well as do a lot of organization on the floor and off the floor, picking roles, letting guys be free-flowing on the court. And of course, I think talking to Smart a couple of days ago, he's pretty conciliatory of this ball handler by committee approach that the team's doing right now. He doesn't seem to have the same urgency, emphasis on having the ball in his hands all the time, because I think he and other guys on this roster saw what worked last year. Him playing a two-man game with Tatum, him rolling. You saw him at practice today working on some rolling, some short roll passing with Damon Stoudemire. Love that drill. Love Smart in that role. Him and Derek White have a piece coming today for CLNS Media. Can be really effective rollers for this team. And then when it comes to Malcolm Brogdon, continues to emphasize his great relationship with Marcus Smart early in camp here. He can have that second unit ball time. That's all him. I think everybody's happy with what he's doing there. He's satisfied in that role, and coming to a winning situation, he expected to be in a less ball time position, less of a front man, more of a six man. And him, Grant, Sam Hauser, some of those other guys that are going to be playing on the second unit look like they can really lead some dynamic offensive units with Brogdon at the center of attention. So the one thing I'll be looking for on Friday with Brogdon is looking to get his own, because he will have to score. He will have to be a threat to continue to facilitate effectively with that second unit, though his assist numbers through 2 games are pretty substantial, especially getting on the court for the first time with these guys. In terms of Smart, I like him on ball. We saw him play at his best in that position last year, but of course they're balancing ball time for White in that starting unit, who looked great, by the way, against Charlotte in the 3rd preseason game with more ball time. Brown, Tatum. There's a lot of ball handlers on this team, which is a strength. I mean, you might even have 5 playmakers on the floor when you have Horford and even smaller lineups at times with this group. But what does that become come playoff time? Because obviously we've seen not only this team, the Celtics, center around one player in Jayson Tatum, but most teams usually come playoff time end up relying on their best player to be their best ball handler. Is Tatum their best ball handler at this point? He made real progress, but we'll see what happens once they really get down to crunch time this season. I think a ball handling by committee approach can be incredibly effective during the regular season. We saw that more under Brad Stevens here. Some of it last year with Ime Udoka, but this roster more than any other. You look at it and there are ball handlers everywhere. Not necessarily guys who need the ball to succeed, which is a different thing, but guys who I think are used to making plays with the ball in their hands. So how are some of these guys going to adjust to those off-ball roles? Is it going to benefit the offense overall? Those are the questions I'm looking at early this season for an offense that got stagnant, that turned the ball over at times, that I think needs to take a step next year, and Joe Mazzulla knows that coming in too. He's been pressing, bringing this offense to a new level into next season. There's been a practice edition of the Garden Report outside Auerbach Center here in Boston. We're brought to you by com.com/garden. Get you 40% off premium subscription of sleep sounds, meditation, yoga, and more, as well as the Calm of the Day. And athleticgreens.com/garden. Go over there, get their powder, and you're going to get vitamins, minerals, adaptogens, probiotics, and more. 5 free travel packs when you go and buy it over there, as well as a year's supply of immune-boosting vitamin D. Beautiful day today, but some of those groggy days of fall are going to get you health-wise. So get that up, get your immune system up, get your energy up. I see the days are getting a little shorter next month. We all got to be ready for that. So Athletic Greens a great way to set a basis there for a healthy winter. I'm Bobby Manning here in Boston. We'll see you up in Montreal. I'm making the trip up for Celtics Raptors. See what the atmosphere is like in Montreal for my Raptors and the Celtics, of course, as well. I'll see you up there.